I kind of know what to expect from my wife's 12-year-old car. And I know what to expect from my good old dog, Tom. He's about 12 years old. But what changes can a 12-year-old boy be capable of bringing to his parents? Or if you're not sure, then you need to watch this video.
You're watching Timeless Talks, timeless subjects, information for life.
Jesus always had a way of moving people from where they are to where they needed to be. When Jesus himself was 12 years old, he got the privilege of traveling with his parents to Jerusalem to the Feast of Passover. It's almost like a rite of passage for any Jewish preteen boy. Here, Jesus would learn about this feast with its sacrificial worship. But our 12-year-old lingered behind. There was so much more to be learned. We are told, and as they were returning, after spending the full number of days, the boy Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem, but his parents were unaware of it. Jesus had done nothing wrong, but his parents made a common mistake. They assumed Jesus was in among the other families from Nazareth who were traveling back home. It was a matter of communication. That's nothing really serious, is it? Well, let's just see. When Joseph and Mary stopped after the first day of travel, they didn't find Jesus among any of the other families. He was nowhere to be found. Panic begins to set in. What if he's hurt or sick? Where could he be? Has he been kidnapped? What are others doing to him? You see, to Mary and Joseph, it was quite serious. Fear and imagination takes over. Many parents, including myself, have felt this fear and this intense anxiety. Both parents spent the second day rushing back to Jerusalem. On the third, fourth, and fifth day, they were searching everywhere in Jerusalem. Some have estimated Jerusalem had about 160,000 people living there. And then there were millions who had been there, now gathering up to head on to their homes. Where would a parent begin to look? There was no government agency like the police to report a missing child to. There was no Amber Alerts, no Facebook or Instagram or other social media to post your missing child on. No television, no radio to help. And the Jerusalem Herald, well, it wasn't even a newspaper yet. For 4 long days, they have been panic-stricken. By now, he may have been a victim of child trafficking. And yes, it did exist back then. What led them to go to the temple, we don't know. Maybe after trying everything they knew to do, they chose to go to the temple and pray for God's help. We really don't know. But there he is. He's in the middle of teachers. He's asking and answering questions with them. Can't you just see Mary rushing right into the middle of that group, grabbing that boy and just squeezing the very life out of him? She was so happy, so relieved. You can see that, can't you? Maybe you've been like that too sometime. And then, Mom gets mad. She's tired, she's hungry, and the boy is just standing there like nothing's wrong. This is what she said. Son, why have you treated us this way? Behold, your father and I have been anxiously looking for you. In her mind, Jesus was to be blamed for all her worry. He was the one at fault for all the searching she and Joseph had done from daylight to dark for 3 long days. They're hungry, they're tired, and they want an explanation. It is at this very point that Jesus, that 12-year-old boy, moves his parents from where they are to where they need to be. He uses some selected, loving, kind wording to move them gently toward being better parents, to a point where they really did need to be. He said, "Why is it that you are looking for me? Did you not know that I had to be in my Father's house?" He was telling them there was no need for all the searching of all the people in all Israel. Mary and Joseph knew exactly who he was. Joseph, a thoughtful, kind, loving, and adoptive father, and Mary had had an angel experience and a long pregnancy without ever having intercourse. Both of them knew who the real Father was. Jesus literally said he had to be about his Father's things. It is a 12-year-old that is reminding them of who he really is and what he ought to be about. What is sad is these two parents are like most other parents. They didn't get it. They didn't understand him. It says, but they did not understand the statement which he had made to them. Good parents, the ones trying hard every day, are going to make mistakes. Joseph and Mary made them. This time, they made several bad assumptions. They thought he would be with the groups going home. They assumed many bad things were happening to him. They jumped to the conclusion that he was in danger or injured or even sold. But which of these, fellow parents, have you not done yourself? And they were parents lacking good communication with Jesus. Mary and Joseph might have voluntarily stayed in Jerusalem if they had been listening to Jesus. These parents could have learned more about the direction their son was wanting to go if they had paid just a little attention. And because there was an understanding gap, they spent 3 days looking in all the wrong places. If they had stopped and spent just a little time, they might have gone straight to the temple. A little time in thought could have saved them 3 days of torment. When one of my kids came up missing years ago, I too panicked. I didn't stop, and I didn't think either. It caused me problems. And these two parents went back to Nazareth without understanding what their son had told them. Possibly they were already feeling a bit inadequate. Remember, they are trying to raise the most unique person on earth and trying to learn parenting skills at the same time. Every caring parent understands this seemingly unfair situation. Every child is unique, and all parenting is hard. So mom and dads, grandmas, and maybe grandpa too, spend extra time with your children from, say, 10 years old on. These preteens, they change so fast. They need you to be in touch with them all the time. And as you feel them slipping away, spend even more time in prayer to God about them. Trust me, you will need His help. Guide them, nurture them, show them a Jesus that understands how they feel and what they think. Thank you for watching. If we can help you here at Timeless Talks, use the contact page or the prayer request page to put us in motion. We do care, and we will act. So until we can visit again, well, goodbye for now.